Have you ever wondered why politicians from different parties, especially during presidential campaigns, end up saying exactly the same stuff? It actually makes sense that they do. I can tell you why by explaining something called the median voter theorem. Let's assume you're a Democratic politician running for election. In a two-party majority rule system, you're going to need at least one vote more than 50% to guarantee victory. Let's say you start out holding a position on the extreme left. Will you win the race? Well, that obviously depends on how voter preferences are distributed along the left-right continuum. Most of the time, there will be voters all along the spectrum from left to right. So, looking at the spectrum of voter preferences, who can you convince to vote for you? Democrats on the far left have opinions a lot like yours, so their votes should be easy to get. Then, as you move slightly to the right, you get to the mainstream Democrats. You can probably count on a lot of their votes too, even if you're more radical than they are on some issues. But what happens when you start moving into the more conservative Democrats and independents near the middle of the spectrum? Most of the time, you will need their votes in order to get over 50%. But their preferences are so different from yours, they might refuse to vote for you. They might even be tempted to vote for a Republican instead. So the only way you can hope to get the votes of the voters in the middle is by moving your own position towards theirs. In fact, if you want to win, you will have to aim for the position of the median voter, the guy right in the middle of the spectrum, because he's the last voter you have to convince to get the majority you need. Now, this will take you pretty far from your original position. Will the voters further to the left still vote for you? In a two-party system, they probably will. You're still closer to their position than the Republican candidate, and as we all know, there usually aren't any other viable candidates out there. And your Republican opponent will be going through the exact same process. If he wants to convince more than a small group of hardcore Republicans to vote for him, he also needs to appeal to the people further to the left and ultimately to the median voter. So that's why all politicians end up saying exactly the same stuff. In a two-party system with majority rule, the median voter is the prize they're all fighting for.